everyone. This is Teresa Perkins, the editor of Exposure Spotlight Magazine. And I am so excited because I am here with some wonderful people. And of course, started off with the wonderful and beautiful artist, Miss Alayna Lott. You all listen, she has a beautiful CD that she is releasing very soon. And of course, we're gonna hear from her and all of the people that that played a part in her CD. The name of the CD is called Be Mine. And then she has another song on there as well called Let It Go. So how's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Good. Doing good, come on. We're doing good. Are you all excited?
We are very excited.
Well, good. That's great. Well, let me say this. You have something to be excited about because Alayna has a beautiful voice, and it's just great and wonderful that God is using her to allow other people to hear the gift and the talent that he has given her. So Alayna, tell us a little bit about the CD that we can expect to hear of pretty soon.
Yes, ma'am. So Be Mine was actually not my original song. So we got this really cool phone call one day from Mr. Butch, who's also on the Zoom call. And we were like, who is this weird old man calling us, trying to get us to help him write a song? And so we go, and he showed me all these songs, and one really sticks out. And we start writing, and then me and my dad kind of looked at it for a couple minutes, and then we were just like, you know what, this actually sounds pretty cool. So that's how Be Mine kind of came to be. And we've been working really hard, and I'm excited for everybody to hear it. And then Let Go is still in the works, and we haven't released, we're still working on releasing that one and getting a release date for that, but we're excited to release that one as well.
Oh, that is awesome. So Mr. Butch Mine, he actually wrote that song, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Butch, if you don't mind sharing with us, how did you come about writing that song? I mean, what was the first thing that came to your mind when you actually wrote it? So from my understanding, you have been a writer, a musician, a producer for a very long time. And just to even say you worked with my father, George Perkins, for a long period of time as well, who has passed and gone. But me remembering you as a child, you are a great musician and a producer. So how did you come about writing this song for Alayna?
Well, originally I didn't write it for Alayna. I just wrote it. And when you're writing them, you just get inspiration. Some songs is finished in 2 or 3 minutes, and some songs take 2 or 3 years. You never know. Most of them's 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the longest. This one I just I was in a writing binge, and that's one of the songs that I had wrote.
Okay.
So I thought it was cool, and Alayna took it and made it very cool. Made it
hers, huh?
Yes.
She took the song and she actually made it hers. So when you write, what are some of the things that you think about? I mean, do you deal with, or you write what comes to you as far as reality, things that is taking place, in your life or with others? How do you really come about writing?
Well, I write about everything. I wrote a song called Every Woman Needs Love in 1988, and I was watching a soap opera, and the soap opera inspired me, and I run to the studio as fast as I could, and the song was written in about 3 minutes. One of the best songs I ever wrote. Every Woman Needs Love, It was real
I
short,
agree with
beautiful
that.
song.
Every woman does need love.
Well, exactly.
I would
It's still
say
a good
this.
song.
I'm sorry?
It's still a good song.
Oh, okay.
I just need someone like Alayna to do it and make it theirs too. I done it was country.
Okay, that is awesome. Now, so here we have another producer, musician, Caleb Morgan. How did you end up playing a part in Alayna's music?
Well, I've known Alayna for a while. We play together at more church events. Like we played at I guess an event called Winter Retreat in a band together, and then she just called me out of the blue, as she usually does, and Vaughn told me to come play bass for her. I'm just kidding. She asked me if I wanted to come play bass for some of her songs, and I told her I would be happy to. So I just came and thumped a bass for a little bit.
Okay. So is there any other type of instrument that you play?
I play electric for my church and bass whenever they need me to. I'm more of a fill-in person whenever the main people aren't there, which is pretty regularly. So.
Okay. So you guys attend school together, is that correct?
We went to school at the same time, but not at the same school. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. So from my understanding, Alayna, you are from Watson, Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that is awesome. So tell me this, what first got you into music?
Oh, wow. So actually, that's kind of funny because Adam was my first guitar teacher. So between him and my parents and, just being around it, I guess I was just kind of brought up into it. And then I started singing church when I was really, really young. And I don't know, it's always just kind of been a part of my life. And then I met this really awesome lady called Miss Teresa Perkins, who has really encouraged me since about, how long has it been? About a year and a half? Who's really encouraged me to push and, get some stuff done. So I would say I've been pursuing music like I am now for about a year and a half, but I've been doing music since I was a little girl.
Well, great. Well, look, I am glad to know that you are following your dreams, because not only that you have a beautiful voice, Alayna, but you are anointed. If anyone knows what that means, you are anointed. You feel something when you sing. And I can say that I feel truly blessed when I hear your voice. You have such a beautiful voice, and you can tell that you are singing from your heart, your soul. And that's what really matters. When you're really singing from your heart and your soul, that means that you can really reach other people. So tell me, Adam, so how do you play a part with this?
Probably a few weeks, a month ago or so, her parents kind of asked me out of the blue if I would play guitar for her. She wanted to go to the studio and do some stuff. So kind of asked me if I knew somebody that played guitar, and I said I was kind of willing. So that's pretty much it. We kind of met and worked some things out with the music, and kind of went from there.
Okay. Now we have another beautiful lady who really plays the part in all of this. Because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even hear from Alayna Lott. And that is her manager, her mother, Dawn Lott. Now, Dawn, when you first heard Alayna sing, what was the first thing that came to your mind when you heard her sing?
Well, we knew she had a talent at about 2.5 when she would scream from her crib. So it was a very young, we knew she had talent. And it was just waiting to make sure she had a really firm foundation in Christ before we let her pursue a music career.
Okay.
So she ended up singing in church probably when she would sing when she was about 5 or 6 every now and then, but really pursuing singing in a band probably about 13.
Okay. And as of right now, you are a praise and worship leader at your church. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now, how I ended up meeting you guys, which I think was phenomenal. I got a chance to meet you at the audition in Baton Rouge with the American Idol. And I was just blown away when I heard you sing. So listen, this is what we have, is this magazine, Exposure Spotlight magazine, and this is with the American Idol. And of course you have to get this publication because too, Alayna is featured in this magazine, and you can learn more about her as well. But we want you all to get her music and support it, because it is very important. Especially, I have to say, we know that there's people from all over that's listening to this program, but especially those that are from Louisiana and from the South, we want you all to support Alayna Lott, because again, this young lady has a very beautiful voice. Now, allow me to share this as well, or to ask this question to Mr. Butch. What are some of the expectations that you guys are looking for when it comes to Alayna's music?
Well, let's see. I just like to see her make the big times if possible. You know, it's just that's a hard road to hoe, but you know, she can do it. She's got the talent. She just needs a break.
Right.
You know, a break and some more good songs.
Right. Well, so now on this particular CD, you all have what, 2 songs? Is that correct? Are you all looking to produce any more or add any more songs to it, or just right now you're just doing a single?
The right kind of exposure. Get her a bullet going. You know, get her. If you getting airtime's like pulling teeth, I don't know. I guess I'm old school. We used to run around the radio stations and take our little 45s and get a little airtime here and there, but it doesn't work like that anymore. And y'all doing all this new age stuff. So I'm kind of behind time. You had been around today watching me try to get on this Zoom thing today. It would have been a show all by itself. And they walked me through it though. They helped me through it. But she just needs the right exposure and some more good songs to back this one up, you know, and because the talent is there. Because when I saw her on the internet, it was like, oh, look, there's a phone number. I'm going to call them. And I just called them out of the blue and said, hey, I got 50 years worth of songs wrote. And if y'all would like to, maybe you'd like to hear some of them, then they come over that Wednesday, I think it was on a Wednesday. And she jumped on this one and made it hers. 30 minutes time, it was hers. So she's got that kind of talent. So I'm looking forward to writing some more with her.
Oh, that's great. Now, Alayna, allow me to ask you this. Is there a certain type of genre of music that you're looking to create or to do, or even just share with us as far as the CD that you have produced as of right now, Be Mine? What genre is it? You know, what type of music is it?
I would say Be Mine was closer to like a country rock type of vibe, but I would say as far as what genre I wanted to stick in, it would be closer to like a Christian country type of genre that I wanted to stay in. But I could definitely see myself doing other things and not sticking to that main thing, but also experimenting with some other sounds as well.
Okay. So as far as, and I know this may be kind of tough asking you this question rather. Which one is your favorite song? Be Mine or Let It Go?
Be Mine.
Be Mine. And
Be
why
Mine.
is that?
So before we recorded them, I would have to say Let Go was my favorite. Just because it was one of the first like real songs I wrote by myself, and I was kind of partial to it, and I didn't have really any help. And then we recorded both of them, and I really finally heard the product, like the finished product of Be Mine. And I was like, wow, that, you know, that kind of changes your mindset on things. And I feel like that's really when it started. You know, there's something different about the first song you record in a big studio like that. So I think that's my favorite.
Okay. Well, Be Mine. I love it. Both of them are great. They're really, really great songs. And I think that Be Mine is going to touch a lot of young people. And not to say it won't reach anyone else, but definitely I think it's going to reach a lot of young people. But it is a beautiful song. Both of them are. Let It Go too. I love that. It would be great that, and I don't know if we're able to just play a little bit of it, so where we can at least just hear. Let's hear a little bit of Be Mine, if we may, please.
He's getting his guitar. Ready? Just a young girl, never engaged. Saw a cute guy that kinda can't resist. Yeah, he looks so good, he looks so fun. When he looked at me, I nearly lost my mind. Oh, touch me, take me by
Alayna. You have such a beautiful voice. Seriously, you really do. I mean, when you sing, it's like I just hear the birds just singing and humming. I mean, just so beautiful, my God. And we want to hear Let It Go, but before we do that, I have another question for you. I would like to know, if you had the opportunity to, who would you like to mostly collaborate with?
Oh, that's hard. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have had this dream since I was maybe 14 to write a song and do a duet with Darius Rucker.
Who is that again? I'm sorry.
Darius Rucker.
Oh,
He's
okay.
yeah, he's a country singer, and I think I've
Okay,
every
Darius,
single song he ever wrote on my playlist.
Okay.
From Hootie and the Blowfish to Darius Rucker to back to Hootie and the Blowfish.
So if you have that opportunity, that's who you would even like to open up for too?
Oh, absolutely.
Say?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That is awesome. So Dawn, what else can you share in reference to Alayna's CD? I mean, in what way did it touch you?
Watching her work and keeping her, being determined that she was going to do it, helped. Just watching her do it just touched my heart. We looked at a lot of studios in Baton Rouge, and we wanted to stay in Louisiana if possible. So, it was a work in process, getting the musicians. I've learned a lot over the last year in the music industry. I've had a few people that's kind of walked me through it and helped me. Everybody has been very supportive in the music industry.
Okay. So what are some of the things, or maybe even, I know with this pandemic, it's very tough in doing a lot of things that we normally would do, but is there a concert or anything like that? Maybe at one of the venues locally, is anything has been planned as of right now, or is that just on hold until?
Well, one thing that's opened up for her is she has been asked to go to a few restaurants, and so she's been playing in there. She's been asked to go to youth camp and lead worship. So she's had several opportunities. Just putting her out there on Facebook and people liking her page and getting her advertisement going has helped.
Okay. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just people knowing that she's available. A lot of people didn't even know she could sing. I mean,
really?
she's Alayna's done jiu-jitsu since she was a baby. So everybody just knows her for choking people and arm bars. And so nobody really knew her talent. Even at the gym, they didn't have a clue that she could sing.
Wow. Well, they have a great surprise now, huh? So we expect a lot of those people to, of course, to purchase your music. Now, Alayna, I would like to ask you, well, I would like for you to share with everyone, because how we met was through American Idol, but not only just that, but you also auditioned for The Voice. Can you just share just some of your experience? What was that like to be able to do that, to be able to audition for American Idol as well as The Voice?
Yes, ma'am. So when I first auditioned for American Idol, I didn't know what I was getting into. My mom was just like, hey, they're coming to Baton Rouge. Like, is that something you'd want to do? And I was like, you know what? Why not? So then when I said that, I had no idea I'd have to pack 7 outfits to decide which one I wanted to wear at 3:30 in the morning, to get in line by 4 o'clock, and, pack an extra shirt, just there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, and I didn't know that that's what I wanted to do, but American Idol was definitely an experience I will never forget. I didn't get to the actual TV portion, but that was a really cool, I got to meet a lot of cool people like you and a lot of American Idol producers that reached out to me afterwards. It was just a very cool experience. And I think the coolest thing was just being interviewed that day. I was introduced to this lady, and she came up to me and she told me her name. She said, hi, I'm your publicist. And I was like, I've only made it through 2 rounds today, And I'm confused on like why it's just, that stuff happens. And I had no idea. So I think just the eye-opening, that was pretty eye-opening for American Idol. And then for The Voice, that was in Nashville. And that was a really cool experience as well, because I was in the second round of auditions for that day. They had one that morning and then one that night. And I signed up for the later one because the 4 a.m. experience from American Idol was not about to happen again. So we signed up for the noon auditions. And we walked up, and there were over 5,000 people there, and it was very intimidating because that was the second round for that day. And I think me and Mom were not going to say it, but we both had the thought of like, there's no way we're making it past, the first round. It's freezing. These people are crazy. Like they have to be. It was raining. I was like, these people have to be good to be standing in this line, And so that was a really cool experience because we kind of got stranded in Nashville for 2 days after I made it through the first round because callbacks weren't for another 2 days. So just seeing like me and Mom go through both of these like long lines and this like very last minute, these very last minute, I don't want to say setbacks, but because they weren't setbacks. I don't know what it's called. Experiences,
Right.
It's just been very eye-opening to see all this just kind of fold out and take place and where the next step is going. And, it's cool.
Now, what is one message that you can give to your fans? If you can give them one message, what would that be to your fans?
Oh, I haven't even thought about this. I would say that as for my music and as for me, it's not for me. It's not to hear my voice. It is not to hear, Mr. Butch's songwriting or Caleb's awesome bass skills and Adam's awesome musicianship or whatever you call it. And it's not to see my name, but it's all for a purpose, and it's all for God's glory. And if my name is seen through this, then it's worth nothing. So I think that would be my number one thing I'd want people to hear. Be Mine's technically not a Christian song, but I think I can show through my actions that it's meant for something greater than just to see my name on a billboard.
That is awesome. Very awesome. Look, and I'm telling you, look, I believe honestly that God has some great things for you. I really see you're going to go further than what you think. I just really believe that, honestly. So, however I can play a part in helping you with that, I want to do it because truly I believe in you and I believe in your voice. And I believe that your voice is going to touch a lot of people. Yeah. So Adam McCluskey, can you share with everyone, give your view just in the music industry, just period, for those that are watching that may be a musician or a producer, what type of advice can you give them?
Probably the biggest thing I would say is not to limit yourself musically. So what I mean, like, even if you like really love one particular genre of music, I would say always try and branch out and, get comfortable with doing every kind of genre, no matter if that's what you do or really what you love or what you're into. I think overall that just makes you a better musician, just having a foundation in a lot of different stuff, blues and country and jazz and rock and classical and, all of those things. That kind of just makes you a better musician overall. So that's what I would say is, just don't put yourself in a box musically.
Okay. And Caleb, you as a bass player, and of course we have, there's a lot of people out there that are, have admirations of being a bass player, a musician. So what type of advice as a young person that you can give to those that are seeking to succeed in the music industry?
I guess from personal experience, the biggest thing that I always told myself was See, I come from a background of no music at all. Whenever I was a kid, I wasn't into music or really anything like that. So I think the biggest thing is God has a weird way of telling you things. So whenever I first got to the church I'm at right now, I started in the tech stuff, which is what I'm really big into, technology side of stuff. And I would look up at the stage and I would tell myself, I am never playing up there in a million years. Like, I'm never going to get in front of people. I'm not going to do any of that. That was not ever my intention. And God just has a weird way of telling you what you're going to do. And it's in your best interest just to do what he says. So I started playing bass a little bit. Whenever they asked me to play bass for one night because they didn't have a bass player. They taught me 3 chords on a bass. And I played youth that night with only 3 chords on a bass, and that's all I knew. And I fell in love with it instantly. And just about every time I told myself I'm never going to do something, I ended up doing it in one way or another. So kind of like Adam said, never limit yourself in that regards either. Don't try to tell yourself that you're never going to do something, because even if you don't do it, it's just kind of closing a door for you that could be open later down the road for you.
Wow, that is awesome. Look, that's very encouraging as well, coming from a young person such as yourself. And you're absolutely right. And you just heard from Caleb Morgan. That is an advice that's coming from a very young person to tell you, don't ever limit yourself and don't tell yourself that you can't do anything. Because I have learned even myself, especially if someone tells me that I can't do anything or I won't do anything, that just makes me even go, make it happen even more so. So definitely we want to have those positive and, positive, let's see here, I'm losing my words here, but we want to be positive about anything that we're seeking to do, because we know that through Christ, we can do all things, which strengthens us. So we want to make sure that we, continue to move forward and know that you can do anything that you put God in. I am a true believer in that. If you put God first, and all things will take place, So, okay, Mr. Butch Mine. Now, as a writer, a producer, and all of those gifts and talents that you have, what advice that you can give those that are watching today?
Oh, Lord, that's a hard question. If I had really good advice, you'd see me on TV tonight. It's just don't stop, You just you love it. I've been doing it since the early 50s. I've gotten in front of the crowds and enjoyed entertaining and singing, and it's just something that you do and something that you love doing. And still to this day, if you give me a line up some cinder blocks, I'll sing to them. So, just don't quit. Enjoy what you enjoy it. Don't quit. Definitely have a second occupation just in case things don't go like you want them to.
Right. And I have to say, you mentioned that if I heard you right, you said that if you had any advice, you would be on TV. Is that what you said? Correct?
Well, I'd be a superstar if I knew the right advice.
Well,
Like I asked a guy one day, it's been 40 years ago. I said, man, can you help me make it in the music business? He says, if I could help somebody, I'd help myself. And basically, that's what he told me. He was right there in Denver Springs. I'm going like, well, that makes sense, But I've had fun through these 7 decades I've been around. So it's been fun. I got to work with Jimmy Davis for a couple of years.
okay.
And I helped Britney Spears make a little demo to go to Disney.
Oh.
And just and I've worked with other kids. I'm really enjoying working with Alayna. She's got the most talent yet that I've worked with, and I'm looking forward to working with her some more on some more songs.
Okay. Well, it's always good hearing from you, and I believe this doesn't mean that you have to be a well-known artist or a producer or whatever to give someone great advice, because what God puts in you, you may not be as known as those that, producers that, that are out there, but your advice can just mean just as much, to someone than someone, quote unquote, is known.
You can help them. You can always help them by not let them make the mistakes that you made.
Yeah,
By your
that's
experience.
right.
Your experience means a lot.
Absolutely.
And, you can say, well, I would do it like this or like that. Or if they ask, sometimes they want your advice, sometimes they don't. But, you can always listen and whatever, because
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is. Sometimes I've listened, sometimes I didn't listen back in the day. So it's the way it is.
Right. I understand. So as a mother, what advice can you give the parents that is listening and want their child to make it? And when I say make it, to be a superstar, or even when they recognize the talent that their child has, what advice can you give to a parent that is watching this program, that has a talented child? What advice can you give to them, Ms. Dawn Lott?
Well, one thing that I found, I very good friends with Wendy Gill, and that's the mother of Ashton Gill, who was on American Idol, who made it to Hollywood Week. And so Wendy has been a wonderful mentor. We have been learning things together through the past year. So finding someone that's been through it already helps. Lots of prayer for your child and on the road they're going to go on. I just slowly have learned everything. Mr. Butch has helped. The recording studio, Mr. Joe Decker's helped. Just networking with people is the key.
Great.
And I'm still not ready for Alayna to make it big. I still want to keep her to myself. So I'm not really ready to share her with the world, but.
Well, just always know this. You can always travel with her. She would never be alone as long as you're right there by her side. And as a manager, that's what is really expected. So, it's whatever that God has in store. And so we're praying for great things and bigger things. And I don't believe in anyone recording into a studio and spending money and don't, take it to a high level, because that is truly and should be the goal, is that it would go just as far as God allow it to. Because when we start doubting and, we only have limitations of what we want, then you're setting yourself up to, it's going to only go as far as you allow it to go. But if you want it to go far, and I learned too, and we're all are Christians right here on this Zoom, I guess we could say, is that we all are believers. And the Bible says, speak those things as though they are. So what we speak is what's going to actually manifest. Do y'all believe that?
Amen.
Yeah. So we want great and we want big things for Alayna Lott, because honestly, I believe truly that she has it. She definitely has what it takes to be a superstar. No doubt in my mind at all. Now, we want to hear from her, and we want her to sing this other song before we end the program. And again, I want to say thanks to everyone that's tuning in and listening to Exposure Spotlight Magazine Talk Show. And we're just looking for some great things for Alayna Lott with her music. So here we go. We're going to hear Let It Go. Is that correct?
Let go.
Let go. Okay, let go. I'm thinking of what's the show? The Frozen here, but let go. All right.
Why you so tired? Why you so on? There's something greater for you. No one could ever ask for more. You gotta let go, gotta move on, gotta quit fighting on your own, gotta forgive all your mistakes, 'cause there's only so far till you break.
Yes. Now tell me this. I don't know if it's going to be Dawn or Alayna. When the CD is released, how can people purchase it or listen to it? How can they get it? So you all have to share that. Where can they get Be Mine? And when are we expecting a release date?
So when Be Mine is released, it is in the process of being released. It is in queue of being, what are we looking for? What's the word?
Reviewed.
It is in queue of getting reviewed, and it will be released. It will be on pretty much on every music broadcasting app and website. So Apple Music, Spotify,
There's like what, Spotify and iTunes, all of those.
Amazon. The best way is to follow her Facebook page, Alayna Lott's Music, and we can update everyone when it's released. And she will be live on her Facebook page and do some